So you've got a Silence of the Lambs sequel script for me? Yes, sir, I do. Amazing. Since that new Thomas Harris novel came out, people have been really looking forward to seeing Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster back on the big screen again. Same here, sir. So the movie takes place several years after The Silence of the Lambs, and then we're going to be introduced to the character Mason Verger, who was a former patient of Dr. Lecter's, and he was brutally disfigured and paralyzed by him in the middle of a therapy session. So how did Lecter manage to do that to him? By drugging him somehow, handing him a piece of glass, and then telling him, try peeling off your face. Oh, so like he's going to have just a couple of scars or something like that? His face is going to look like melted white chocolate, and he's going to sound like Jim Carrey doing a funny voice. I guess that'll be scary. Then we're going to see Clarice Starling. She's from the first movie. Yep, and in this movie, she's going to be part of a drug raid gone wrong, where a couple officers are going to die, but she's at least going to be able to save a newborn baby from its machine gun-wielding mother. Ah, I like where this is going. Starting off making Clarice Starling an honorary hero. People must love her. You'd think so, yeah, but see, everyone actually is going to shame and disgrace her for it. Why are they treating her so poorly? This seems unfair. Definitely very unfair, and for the rest of the movie, she's going to be either looking at computer screens in her office, or she's going to be running around with a gun. I guess that'll be exciting to watch. And during all of that, we're going to cut over to Florence, Italy, where we're going to be introduced to Inspector Pazzi, and he is going to be investigating the disappearance of a museum curator. Okay. Then we're going to see that the new museum curator is Hannibal Lecter. He's also from the first movie. So does he have like on a disguise or something like that? Nope, no disguise at all, and not even any plastic surgery. Oh my god, why not? So that Anthony Hopkins can get more face time and say really scary lines like, okie dokie. Okay, that is a pretty scary line, but how has he not been apprehended yet? Because I guess the police force in Italy are either not very bright, or that America has not yet informed them that the brilliant mass-murdering psychopath has escaped from police custody. Wow, that's irresponsible on so many levels. Lecter and Pazzi are then going to start doing all these cat-and-mouse type games to try to stay one step ahead of the other. Oh, cat-and-mouse games are tight. Pazzi even goes as far as to kill a man to get his fingerprints to give them to Mason Verger in a complex plot so that Verger can get his revenge on Hannibal Lecter by feeding him to man-eating boars. So is Mason Verger like supposed to be the main antagonist of the movie? Or are we supposed to be rooting for Hannibal Lecter to kill him? Of course not. Hannibal is. But he kind of seems like a supervillain. He's disfigured, he has a creepy voice, and he has a bloody, violent revenge fantasy. Well, I'm sure the audience will see Hannibal as the true villain. Well, that inspector still better be careful. Well, he's not gonna be. What? He's not very good at hiding his intentions, and eventually Hannibal Lecter grabs and disembowels him. Oh, whoops. Whoopsie. And then we're gonna see that Starling is back in Virginia, and she's gonna... Oh, that's right, Clarice Starling is actually still in the movie. Starling was sent a letter from Hannibal, and she was able to trace his whereabouts from the evidence on it. Okay, I know Hannibal Lecter is a genius, but maybe he shouldn't have sent a letter to an FBI agent. Anywho, we're going to move on and see that Lecter is back in America now. What? So what did the Florence portion of the movie have to do with the second half of it? You know, not that much now that I think about it. Could you do a rewrite? I could, but I won't. And how did Hannibal Lecter get back into America anyway? Isn't he like one of the most wanted men in the world? Yes, he is wanted, but he needs to be back in America now so that the rest of the movie can happen. Oh, okay, good point. So what does Hannibal Lecter do now that he's back in America? He steals some surgical equipment, leaves his fingerprints on everything, breaks into Clarice Starling's house while she's asleep, and then sends her on a scavenger hunt that ends with him giving her shoes. Wait, what? Verger's men are finally able to abduct Lecter and escape before Clarice can stop them. What is Verger's plan with Hannibal again? To strap him to a cross and then have him fed feet first to man-eating boars. Boy, it sure is going to be hard for him to get out of that predicament. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, you see, Clarice was able to track them down and then bust in with a gun just in time to save Lecter. Didn't expect to hear a sentence like that for this movie. She shoots and kills a few of them before getting wounded herself and passes out. Then Mason Verger shows up, and then out of nowhere, Dr. Lecter is going to suggest to his primary physician that he kill Mason Verger, so he does. Oh my god. Yep, he gets pushed into the pit, and he's going to be eaten by all the boars, where there's going to be lots of blood and gore and choppy editing. You know, I don't recall this much gore being in the first one. Then we're going to get to the ending scene of the movie, where Hannibal Lecter has drugged another FBI investigator. He's cut off the top of his head, he takes out a piece of his brain, cooks it, and then feeds it to him. Oh, gross. Isn't Clarice going to try to do anything to stop this? Yes, but after it's mostly over. Eventually, Clarice is able to handcuff herself to Hannibal Lecter's wrists. Then he grabs a cleaver and chops off his own hand before the police get there. Oh no. And for some reason, we're also going to shoot it in a way that makes it look like Clarice got her hand chopped off instead. Well, it's really good that all those police officers are there, so I guess they're going to be able to chase and apprehend. In the next scene, we're going to see that Hannibal Lecter is on a plane eating some of that FBI guy's brains, and he even lets a young boy try some of it. So Hannibal Lecter managed to get away from dozens of police officers, make it through security, and get on an airplane with only one hand and without anyone stopping him or recognizing him? Yeah. So are we going to show how he did any of that? Not even a bit. How come? The movie's over now. I don't know what to tell you. Got off my back about it. Okay, I'm gonna get off of that bad boy. So what do you think? Well, it seems a bit silly and unfocused, but as long as we have the right cast and there's no big production issues, I'm sure the movie's gonna turn out pretty great. Jodie Foster's on the phone right now, and she says she's not gonna be able to do the movie because she doesn't like the ending. Oh, holy shit.